Welcome to 5 Minutes or Less, a new series where I'll try to share my impressions of a game to help you decide whether it's a buy or not in less than 5 minutes. But, since it's the first one, why even do this in under 5 minutes? Just to name a few reasons. We all know our time is limited for you watching and for me creating, and our attention spans are even shorter on supply. It might also be a good writing exercise to cram this much information into a 5-minute video. So, with that out of the way, let's get this started. Today I have Destiny for you, the new game from Bungie, famous for creating the Halo franchise. The developer's name itself is enough to create ridiculously high amounts of hype for this new project. And I didn't even play Halo, so did the game live up to it? Well, yes and no, and I'll tell you why. But first things first. Destiny is set in a not-so-distant fictional future where humanity is thriving in a new golden age colonizing planets in our solar system. All made possible by the arrival of the so-called Traveler, a giant white spheric structure the size of a moon that brought advanced technology with it. This new expanded human empire was then pushed back in a so-called Great Collapse by an ambiguous force only referred to as the Darkness. Humanity is now holding out on Earth, protected by this Traveler, floating above the last human city. The player is one of many guardians tasked to push back the Darkness, armed with a mysterious power called the Light, in which they were also forged. And that's about it. Story presentation is, well, I don't know what it is. It's far from great. Nothing is really happening or ever fully explained.
I could tell you of the great battle centuries ago. I could tell you of the power of the darkness.
Okay.
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
Yeah, I heard that before.
There's so much more, Guardian. Our fight is far from over.
Wait, let me guess. You don't have time to explain. Really?
It seems very likely that the story was split up into more chapters to be added at a later time.
Should the Awoken ever need an ally, I will call on you.
Or they were simply cut like this scene.
Why don't you put that down so we can talk?
Out here in the wild, this is how we talk.
Most of Destiny's lore is separated from the game and must be viewed on the game's website or app. This would be great as a complementary feature, but it seems very lazy as the player's main source of getting to know the game's world. Gameplay-wise, this online shooter could be summed up in 2 or 3 words. MMO Light is one of them. You earn XP, work on quests, receive random rewards and gear for them, and so on. After you've reached the soft level cap of 20, the endgame begins. And this is where the other word comes in to describe Destiny's gameplay. Grind. This is the main content. The essence of this game. Level 1 to 20 was just the introduction. To get over level 20, you will have to find gear with a stat called Light. For that, you will farm a lot of reputation for factions and their respective coins to buy gear, which is the only reliable way to get gear of a certain quality, because everything else is random, and it seems very unforgiving. No matter what you play, be it PvP matches, single heroic story missions, or co-op strike missions, your performance does not matter. The MVP of a match might get nothing, while that one guy who seemed to be AFK gets 2 legendaries. Everyone is subjected to the loot system's will, and it is a bitch. To illustrate how desperate players got, have a look at this scene. It was a specific spot players found in the world where they would shoot fast spawning mobs in a cave for better loot. And up until they patched it out a few days ago, this was the best method to obtain better gear. The co-op play is fun and mostly challenging. The loot system needs to be patched further. PvP will need more variation in the future, but it's very solid. So what about mechanics and tech? There are 3 classes, each with 2 more subclasses that can be swapped at will, and both can be leveled at any point. You have a wall of skills and perks which get unlocked one by one. The equipment has a similar level system. The game itself handles smoothly. Menu navigation, controls and weapons feel great, and the game is absolutely gorgeous. The art design and overall look of the game are so stunning it's distracting. The few planets that are there vary greatly, especially Venus, which seems to be a fan favorite. Music is fantastic and sometimes outshines the repetitive missions on screen. You can feel the high production values in so many parts of the game, but some parts definitely need fixing. What I'm trying to say is, this game is for a specific type of player. It's the sort of game you love and hate to play, and you can't stop. To further help define this game's nature, here are 3 games that I played and liked and think are similar to this. So if you like games like Borderlands 2, Diablo 3, or MMOs like World of Warcraft, get this game. It's not a must-buy. There are still too many flaws, and Destiny seems like a classic fresh launch MMO with starting difficulties, even though it tries to be something else, but the solid foundation is there. They definitely have to further flesh out the story and the lore of this game. We know of at least 2 expansions coming and a supposed plan to do this for 10 more years. I really hope they will seize this opportunity because this universe has a lot of potential. And that's it. I hope I could help paint a better picture of this game in such a short time. Please let me know if this is something you'll like to see more in the future, and until next time, have a great day.